Hello again! This is Zagalope, playing Custom Robo. We're not really playing, we're like reading. Because at this point, we're just hearing a huge explanation. Basically, what happened was, Oboro's whole plan failed, and Rahu escaped. Also, Sergei apparently was, working behind Oboro's back. And he's a good guy. Right now he's explaining to us about the past. Basically what was explained to us from this point that's important is that, first off, my dad is the leader of Syndicate Z. Who would have guessed? Also, apparently Rahu was a formless being that fused with a Robo, a custom Robo, a child's toy. Why? No one knows. It's probably because it's supposed to adapt to things it hasn't seen before and gain their powers, and he thought, I guess, Custom Robo was powerful. And another theory, according to Sergei, is that the Robo may have something to do with the Rahu. Next, government wiped out everyone's memories using a strange device in order to make them forget about Rahu. In addition, they sealed us into a little dome and it cut us off from the outside world. Why? Well, partially it's to protect us from Rahu, but at the same time, there's no stopping Rahu. It was also meant to give us a sense of security, because you can't really live every day happily if you know something's going to destroy you, but you don't know when. Finally, my watch is the memory erasure device. The watch my father gave me is the memory erasure device. Also, Marcia's powers of half diving, she got them because it's a side effect of the memory erasure. Anyway, let's get back to the subject. You said that Hiro's father had doubts about false memories. Was he the only one in the government who felt this way? He must have been something. He was. He stole the only remaining model of the memory erasure device. He escaped to the outside world with several of his colleagues. I'm sure the government must have been quick to send someone after them. Yes. The government's soldiers had one goal: to retrieve the memory erasure device. They searched all over the outside world for him, but he was always one step ahead. Instead of taking the device with him into exile, he hid it inside of the doomed city itself. He reconfigured it into that watch so that no one would be able to identify it. And then he gave the watch to Hiro. Yes, the one person he could trust, someone who didn't know the power of the object he held. And it's when your leader formed Z Syndicate. And all this time, Z Syndicate's goal has actually been to inform people of the truth. They're good guys? No, they still got bad leaders. Is at first. Want people to know the truth, to prepare themselves in case Rahu did attack again. But as time passed, he began to worry, to doubt himself. He began to worry that informing everyone of the truth would only trigger mass panic. He realized that it might be best to find a way to stop Rahu without having the people know about it. That was the moment when my leader formed a syndicate made of the strongest fighters. Strongest fighters. And that's when he recruited you? I wanted to save this ruined world. In order to do that, I knew I would have to help him. He told me he needed someone to support him, no matter how insane his orders might seem. But you could have told Marcia before you left. You ordered at least that much, didn't you? To be honest, I had planned on leaving Marcia before I met your father. My sister would do anything I told her. If I stayed, she would never have left my shadow. It was unacceptable, unthinkable. I wanted her to think for herself, to grow into the commander she is. I thought that if I went around, she would have the opportunity she needed to think for herself. That's why I left the way I did. But I always watched over her. I would have come to her aid in a second if she was ever in danger. I left, even though I knew I ran the risk of alienating her, of making her hate me for leaving her.
Sergei, I've learned something.
My partners told me something more valuable than I realized. Spoiling someone isn't love. Sometimes you need to be strict in order to be compassionate. That's when I figured it out. That's when I knew my older brother still cared about me. That he still loved me. I wondered if that wasn't why you'd left me in the first place. They helped me to understand, and that's why I still love you. Thank you, Sergei.
You've grown so strong, Marcia.
The more I hear about this, the more complicated the situation gets.
I agree.
Still, after hearing all of that, sounds like Z formed in order to help out mankind. But what about Oboro? That guy wanted Rahu for himself.
When our leader grew ill, Oboro and Eliza made a grab for power. That's when it began to crumble. The more they knew about Rahu's amazing powers, the more they wanted to possess it. They'd forgotten our leader's goals, and they planned such foolishness as diving into Rahu.
I guess there's always one selfish sicko in every group.
I acted as Oboro's subordinate while looking for the chance to strike back.
But wait, why was Eliza at the lab? Did it have something to do with Rahu?
Oboro and Eliza both knew that the memory erasure device was the key to destroying Rahu, but they didn't know our leader had already stolen it. He was never sure they could trust him. They wanted to find that device so they could tame Rahu for their own ends instead of destroying it. Eliza must have thought that Custom Robo Research Lab would have such a device. That's why she attacked the lab.
See? Just as I thought. Eliza thought the device was at the research lab. I am smart. I think just like one of the Z Syndicate's leaders.
Which simply shows how flawed her thinking truly is. Oh! Anyone got a raspberry? We've spoken long enough, hero. May I borrow your watch? I have a chip your father gave me. I'm going to insert it in your watch now. Once I've inserted the chip, the watch's memory eraser functions will be restored.
I trust you!
I understand. I'll give you my watch. Thank you. Please wait while I insert the chip.
It doesn't ever end. Not gonna end it quite yet, though.
It'll be an early time to end it. I've inserted the chip in your watch. The memory erasure device is now functional. Hero, I believe this is still yours. Your father put it in your hands for a reason. Point towards your target and activate it. I understand. We're almost near the end. Let's go destroy Rahu.
Do you know where to find it?
I've attached a tracking device to Rahu. If it's transmitting, we'll know where Rahu is. Let's hurry. With every passing second, Rahu continues to evolve. Still evolving? Like I said before, Rahu evolves. Rahu is especially drawn to negative feelings. Hatred, envy, greed. It absorbs that mental energy, uses it to fuel its metamorphosis.
So that's why it looked different every time we've seen it.
It's not just its appearance that's changing, it's growing stronger with each evolution. The device will erase Rahu's genetic memory, so it stops evolving. I fear that Rahu is resting now, preparing for its next evolution. We can defeat it if we erase its memories and eliminate its advantage. Let's go!
I thought something else was going to happen there. Shows how much I know. Yeah, if you like this, I'm ending it now. If you like this video, tell your friends. Also, check out my other videos. I'm sure you'll find something you like there. Probably, if you go a few episodes back, because this is the third episode of talking, you'll probably find something better than this. Also, I'm gonna try and record another game. Just don't know when I'll have the time. That's it. Thank you for watching.
Bye!